world. The weather outside is not that cold, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Country with Celine. I am your host, Celine Shamarky, and on today's show, we have the lovely Megan Knight.
And I've always been a stubborn kind to say I'll be just fine, but it's a hard way to go. Yeah. It's a hard way to go.
Megan, how are you doing today?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime. So, first things first, let's get to know you a little bit more. So, where exactly are you from?
So I'm from Williamstown in South Jersey, a little bit outside of Philadelphia, and I love it here. You definitely have to come visit sometime.
Yes, I would love to. Honestly, I would love to. Right now, I have not left Canada in over a year and a half, I think, because of,
Oh my gosh.
yes, it's been a long time. I need to come down to the States. I miss Florida. It's very much.
I love Florida. That is one of my favorite places here. I just got back from Jamaica, though. That was fun. That is completely unrelated to anything we're talking about, but you have to visit there too.
No, I've never been. I've only heard like good things about that place, and everyone says that it's such like a party, like a
It's
place to go.
It's the never-ending party. I had to like recalibrate for a couple days afterwards, but it was worth it. I have to go back again next year. Our family's doing another trip, so
Oh, that's so cute. You go with
Here,
your family
get
down to Jamaica?
yeah, I go with my grandparents, my parents. It's like a whole thing.
Okay, that's adorable. That when all like the family go on vacation like that, it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
It is.
And now, Megan, why or what made you decide to pursue a career in country music?
So, I've always loved like singing, but I never imagined pursuing it as a career. So I actually picked up guitar when I was 13 because I was bored. So I just kind of like started playing guitar as a hobby. I taught myself on YouTube. And then I had like really bad stage fright, so I was never gonna play for anyone. But I remember like sitting right here, literally at my kitchen table, and my mom was like, "Just play something." So I was like purposely singing terrible, and she's like, "Stop, just really be serious for a second." And they said I had a natural talent, so they wanted me to sing at an open mic. So I went there, I played like my 2 songs, like with my eyes half shut the whole time, and I was just like, all right, let's just get through it. And then they'll stop annoying me and telling me to sing for people. And I actually got hired for my own show there, like a 2-hour thing, paid. And I was like, you can make money pursuing music. Like this is an actual career path. And I learned that at 13, and that gig led to another gig and another one. And that's how I wound up in music. So it's kind of like a natural path meant for me, I guess. I don't know.
I love how you said when they asked you to play, you sang terribly on purpose, because I feel like when you sing terribly, no one can say anything. It's like, no, I'm bad. I'm not that good. I told you guys. But then it's like when you actually try and they say you're not good, it's like, oh, okay, that's hurtful. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I was just listening there. I was like, da da da. It was just awful. It was a Katy Perry song or something. And I had this towel on my head. I got out of the shower and I was just sitting there and I was just like really embracing like the awfulness. And they're like, they found it funny, but they're like, okay, come on. I really want to hear your voice. Because my parents heard it. My mom did it. And she said, I need to hear what you can do. And I did like theater when I was younger or whatever, but I just kind of like did like the dancing, and it was like a summer camp. So that's what I did when my parents were at work, and I never took that seriously either. And they said, you actually have a talent. Stop, like embrace it, bring it out. And I kind of like wound up doing this the past decade. Thank God for my mom being like, be serious.
Yeah, thank God is right. And 13 years old, and you were thrown into like doing a gig after because you landed it, and you were working pretty much since you were 13 then. That's pretty incredible, to be completely honest. I got a job when I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
Looking back, like I don't even know how I pulled it off, because I went to that open mic only knowing like 2 songs ever, and they're like, can you come back and play 2-hour show? I said, how many songs are in a 2-hour show? And they like told me, like, I literally knew nothing. And somehow I pulled it together. I had a month to learn all these songs, and I did it. And I still to this day, I look back and you know, when you're a kid, you don't really overthink things. And looking back, I just am really curious how I pulled that off, but I did somehow. And I'm grateful that happened, because I feel like for me, if I have like a time restraint, I can get a lot done. But if I just have like my free will, I don't get anything done.
Yeah, when there's like a time between like when you start and you have to finish on the Monday, like you have to, it's like, okay, I can't procrastinate. I gotta do this. Because honestly, like that's exactly like me. I'd rather just wait. Like I just keep pushing it off. Okay, I'll do tomorrow. I'll do the next day. Yeah. And then when push comes to shove and it's that day, it's like, oh, this is really awkward. I did not start. I probably should. So
Yeah.
I understand what you mean with like the time, when you have a time frame that you have to like finish something. But that's amazing. Honestly, that's so cool. 13 years old and you were that determined to learn all of those songs within like a month span, and you got the gig, and now look where you are today. So like you have to be really proud of yourself for that.
I'm really grateful. It feels like it was all meant to be, looking back at it now, because some days I just sit here and I'm living my life, you know, traveling to Nashville and Alabama and all this stuff. And I just think back to where I started. I actually started like because of Rock Band. That's why I wanted to pick up a guitar. I loved the game. Like I wanted to learn drums.
Oh my God, Rock Band.
And my dad's like, do you know how much dedication it takes to set up a drum kit? And I was like, I'll just learn guitar. And that's why I just learned it, because I love music. And I remember you could like dress your rock star or whatever in the show. And I just loved everything about it. I loved the fashion, the makeup. And that's how I found an interest in it, I guess.
I feel like that came out when we were all like the perfect age, because it taught us whether we wanted to actually pursue this career or not. Honestly, that's the best game. That unlocked a memory that I forgot that I had when you brought that back up. Oh my gosh. So now influences. Who did you grow up listening to?
So when I was really little, there was a lot of Dave Matthews in my house full time, because my dad's favorite was Dave Matthews. I started going to concerts when I was really little, but I listened to everything. My mom was playing a lot of country, so that's where I got like, you know, that whole side of things. A lot of George Jones, George Strait, Hank Williams. My pop really loved Hank Williams, so those influences were coming in. Dolly Parton, and then my mom also loved like classical, and I wound up doing classical training around like 13 too. So it was like German, Italian. So I have like a little bit of everything. So when people ask my genre, I get confused because I love country roots, rock roots, alternative. So I kind of like blend them all together to create something different, I guess.
So you just said Italian. You can sing Italian songs. Is that what you mean?
So like I used to be like really good at it, and then I like stopped training because I was doing more contemporary training. But I did like Caro Mio Ben and like a bunch of different, you know, like arias, like the Queen of the Night aria. I was trained in all of that stuff and kind of gave that up because I was going to consider going for scholarship for it, but then I found out I did not have a passion really in that, so I switched gears.
Yeah,
it was too stressful. I didn't like it.
You have to follow what you want to do. You have to follow where your heart takes you. But that's still like really cool to like say that you did that, or like you could probably still do it like deep down. Like it's all like in your memory still. It never really goes away, right?
Right. A couple of the songs, they're my shower songs, so I don't completely forget and still have the training, because the actual technical training, how they sing back then, is so good for the health of your vocal cords. I still apply all of that to my singing today.
Well, that's good. That's good. See, that's good that you learned it. Everything happens for a reason, and there was a reason.
Yeah.
Now you released your highly anticipated single, "Hard Way to Go." So I want to know, why is this song so special to you?
So this song is actually everything we were just talking about. The sacrifices I made since a young kid to pursue this business, because I lost a lot of, you know, the fun things you usually do as a kid, hanging out with your friends and sleepovers and all that stuff. I had a little bit of that, but a lot of my life was spent, especially through high school, traveling, and I wasn't able to join any clubs in high school or anything, so I missed out on that whole social aspect. And when I was writing this song, I didn't initially know what I was going to write about. I just kind of found chords that I liked and was just humming and saying random things, and certain words that stuck out, about you always, something about a lonesome path, and all this stuff I started saying. And I didn't have the lyrics all spaced out yet, but certain keywords, and the keywords that I found wound up being this song. Like it all wound up flowing together, and that's what it wound up being about.
Well, it's very true because for artists like yourselves, or even for like people who want to pursue a career in professional sports, it's a lot of time that goes into your craft, and a lot of things get taken away from you as a kid. So, like if you're going through high school, you're not always going to be going out to the mall all the time with your friends, to the movies, to this, to that, because you're so dedicated in perfecting your craft. Like you want to keep getting better, and you want to go perform here for one night or perform here, or you get called to go talk to a producer or so on and so forth. So you lose like quite a bit of your childhood, but it's all worth it in the end, because once you get to where you want to go, you just look back and say, wow, like I lost about a bit of my childhood, but it was worth it because I'm where I want to be today. So in the end, like I said, I always say this all the time, everything happens for a reason, because it's so true. It just really is true.
It is. And that was like the inspiration of this song. Like I know all the sacrifices I made and like struggles that I've had, and like trying to fit in when you're this kid doing like the weird different thing in school or whatever. It was like hard, but I would never take any of it back. And I'm so grateful for all of that. And like you're saying, like it all was exactly how it was meant to be to get me to where I am now and where I still want to go, honestly. And you just see things slowly, like little puzzle pieces coming together, and I don't regret anything. But I feel like as I'm aging, I'm kind of learning stuff people have learned when they were younger now, from like a social aspect of like things. And it's just crazy how life works, where I feel like ahead of, you know, some of my friends and peers in certain ways from a business standpoint, but then socially I'm like, wow, I like missed that lesson. Cool, I learned that right now. You know what I mean?
Everybody's at like different parts of like their life. Even though we can be the same exact age, you could be getting married and having a family, and I could be sitting at home like not married, not with a family, not even with a job. Like it can really be like that, and you're the exact same ages. It depends on where God wants to take you at that time.
Exactly. And that's where I am now. Like my friends are talking about kids, marriage, and I'm like, whoa, I am like really far from being ready for that. But you know, I'm getting there, learning about what I want and what I'm looking for and all that.
And how old are you exactly?
I'm 23.
Oh, you're 23. I'm 24. Yeah, we're so.
I'm about to be 24. I knew it. I was like talking to you. I'm like, talking to you so easy. It's like I've known you forever.
Because I feel like honestly, like girls, when we're the same age, it's just so like easy because we're like we think the same. You're 97 or 97 or 98?
Yeah, 97.
Oh, okay. So when's your birthday?
December 20th. When's yours?
You're a late baby. That's what you were.
Yeah. When's your birthday?
September. So mine just passed last month.
Oh, wow. So we are really close in age. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close, pretty close. But so yeah, you understand, like even with me, I know a bunch of people from like my high school that are getting married and stuff, and it's like, dude, what? Like, no.
Yeah, we're in the exact same place where it's like there's two completely different routes here, and I feel like somewhere in the middle. I don't know where I am.
Yep. It will all happen when it happens. Just right now is not the time, but it will happen eventually.
Yeah.
And now, Megan, what is a music-oriented goal that you want to accomplish?
So I would love to open up for somebody bigger than me, just so I'm like in front of like a bigger fan base. That is my goal. I would love to go on a tour, like a cross-country tour or something. All I want is like my little 20-minute set or whatever it is. I just want to go on tour with a band, and that is my most like focused on goal right now. I'm trying to figure that out.
Who would you want to open up for?
Honestly, Jason Isbell, because that's really realistic to me, because I just did a live series. You can find that on YouTube. Hard Way to Go is live, but we have more coming out. The bassist is in that band, Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. And he's amazing, and Jason Isbell recorded in that same studio. They all know him, and he's the same kind of genre. Mm-hmm. So that is like a realistic goal, and they play all the places I want to play. So that's what I'm shooting for.
It's meant to happen. It's meant to happen. You just got to get your little journal, you know, and start writing down like what you want to accomplish, and then it will come true.
100%. And I'm so into that. I'm into all the spirituality stuff, and I journal every single day. So I've seen a lot of it come true. So you just got to stay persistent.
Yep, I completely agree with you. I started my vision board, if you can see it right up top here. I put down a couple of pictures, and I kid you not, within the span of a year, already I think 3 of those things have come true, or 4 of those things have come true. So I am a strong believer when it comes to all of like manifesting now, which I was before, but not to this extent. Like I kind of wouldn't do that, but I'm like, you know what? I want to try. And oh wow. Just
That is so funny. We are the same. I have 2 of them in my room, like huge. And they look the exact same with the tacks and the stuff out of like magazines. Same exact. That is so funny.
I love that. Yeah, honestly, to anybody listening right now, make a vision board. You will not regret it.
It changes your life. I swear to God. It's
does.
crazy.
Because once you start like visualizing what you want to do rather than just like playing it out in your head, but actually seeing it on a picture and just like thinking that's going to be me one day, or like talking it out into the universe. Like never say you can't afford something. Always say I have money, I can afford this, I will buy this. You always have to talk like that. You can never talk like negative, because then nothing will ever happen for you. So you have to be what you are. Like, I am a singer, I am a country music star. You have to talk like that. And it helps even with your like self-esteem too, because like if you're always being so negative and down on yourself, like I'll never make it, I'll never do this, you're never going to. That's why you have to change the way that you think and be very present like with yourself too, and just like be positive. Like you're gonna make it, you're gonna go places, and so on and so forth.
And I think that's how I wound up here today, is because when I was little, like we were talking about before, like I was 100% certain I was totally capable of doing this, 100%, not a doubt in my mind, and then it worked out. And now when you get older and you see more life, and then you become a little more insecure about certain things, like making decisions, people are like, oh, how are you going to do this? And it's just from people saying like, oh, how. But when you're a kid and you have no outside, anything filtering through your head, you're like, I can 100% do this, and you do it, and it's successful. And if you just keep that, mindset that you were kind of like born with, and just cancel everything else out, life just starts working out for you so quickly, like fast, and without question. You just got to like stay in that zone.
Yeah,
and that's the first part.
Exactly. No, I completely agree. And when you're a kid, you think like you're invincible. So you think that you can literally do anything. And we lose that mindset as we grow up, because reality kicks in, and you start freaking out about money and on a job and this and that, and marriage and kids. But it's like you have to bring back that child mindset and just remember that you are capable of doing anything you set your mind to. Just be very positive with what you're saying.
100%. Yeah. And then that goes back to like the whole spirituality thing with, doing like the spiritual shadow work and all that stuff, and figuring out how to get back there. It's cool.
Love that. Oh, you have a tattoo too. I noticed that. What does it say?
Okay, so this one says decisive, and that's actually the Jupiter symbol, which is the ruling house of Sagittarius. So it's like good luck, good fortune, and it's just about like following your intuition. Exactly everything we're talking about, which is so crazy that you're into it. I'm like, oh, meant to be. And then this is Vienna, the Billy Joel song, and that's pretty much just Science by a Kid. And then I literally just got this one yesterday. I got this for my mom. It's like flowers and a key.
I like that. I love that. That's so cute. The Vienna tattoo. Oh my God, that's so funny you have that tattoo, because every time I listen to that song, I think of like wanting to be a little kid again, because I think of 13 going on 30 all the time.
Oh my gosh, yes. Did you see all the costumes like of Jenna this past Halloween? Did you see any of them?
Was there a lot? I haven't seen
any.
They were
like viral TikToks of this costume. Apparently they're selling it somewhere because multiple people wore it, but it was iconic. It was amazing.
I gotta look that up. I saw so many like cool costumes this year. I even saw Hailey Bieber was Princess Diaries. I'm like, that is such. How did I not think of doing?
Oh my gosh, it was so good, and she pulled it off so well. I love seeing all the different costumes after Halloween or during it.
Yes, especially like all the celebrities, because they go all out like with it. They get their like stylist to like find them the perfect piece, and they just go do it. And like for us, I'm just like Spirit Halloween, just like grabbing anything I can find. Like, yeah, I'm going on like this. What were you for Halloween?
So I was like a Victorian person, just because my little cousin, he's 12, and he always picks the theme every year. And he was from Sleepy Hollow, like the Headless Horseman or whatever. Wow. So we all dress around his theme, because we like to like center it around him, because I don't know, I always think as a little kid, you remember that stuff forever. And so I just went all out.
I love that. That's adorable. I'm sure he like loved that as well.
Yeah, and my dad and my uncle, like, they built this big thing in our driveway too, like this walkway, and they had like fog machines and lights. Like, it's crazy over here.
Oh my God, kids must have loved that when they came trick or treating.
Yeah, they were like, "Can I take a picture? Can I walk through it?" I'm like, "Of course."
Of course, that you remember that. Like I even remember going to houses and where they went all out, like on the driveway, and we were like 10, 9 years old, and like you could still remember that and remember the feeling of how scared you were. But then now, when you probably look at stuff, it's like, why was I scared of that? Like it's just
Exactly.
yeah.
But it's like such a good memory, so that's why I like to go all out. I usually do stuff with my friends as well, where it's more of a fun costume. But I didn't this year. I was so lazy.
It's okay. Honestly, I didn't go out for the past 2 years. And this year I was like, you know what? Let's just go out and do something. And it was fun. Take a guess on what I was. Just take a guess.
Oh man,
You're never gonna get it. I was a cartoon, but try to figure out which cartoon it was.
were you like Princess Peach?
You know what? That was pretty close to what I wanted to be. I was gonna be Sleeping Beauty, and the costume looked exactly like Princess Peach, but it was way too short. I was like,
Oh my gosh. So what were you? What did you want to be?
I was SpongeBob.
No way. I wish I could see a picture. SpongeBob's my favorite cartoon. I still watch it to this day.
You do you actually? Oh my God! Yeah. Wait, well, I said, do you actually? Of course, it's like iconic SpongeBob. Oh my God!
I love it. I love it.
I will post the video in the interview so like people can see it, and I will show you it after. It was
Oh
actually
my God.
I won the best costume contest, and I won a bottle of vodka.
SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob
Oh, you deserve that. I wish I need to come up with something cool next year. I've been lame the past couple of years.
Honestly, it's so easy just to do something basic, like a cat or like a prisoner or like a nurse. Like it's so simple because like there's quite a bit of cute costumes like that, but it's fun to do something so out of your like normal box. Like it's just like just do something crazy. Like and that was pretty nuts because I went to this party and like I was saying all the girls were either like a cheetah or like what's it called, a vampire, and it's like I'm a SpongeBob.
I love that. My friends went to in Atlantic City, Pauly D. I don't know if you know him from Jersey Shore.
Polly D. Yeah, of course.
He was DJing. They were trying to get me to go, but it was so expensive, and I'm not really like into DJs, so I'm like, eh. But they went, and it was like a costume party, and my friend and her boyfriend were Beetlejuice, and the chick that dresses in red. I don't know if you know that costume. I forget her name. Lydia.
Right?
Beetlejuice, yeah.
Yeah.
But they looked awesome. And then my one friend was like a 70s girl. And then I'm like, Polly, you're so basic right now. I've been a 70s girl like 3 times.
But it's so easy.
It's so easy, but she looked so good. And she did look good. But I said next year we're all gonna have to be something like off the wall that nobody thinks of.
Yeah. You know what I noticed a lot of people doing this year too was fairies. There was a lot of fairies.
From like some sort of show. I don't know what that show was.
I got no idea, but I saw it on TikTok, and then I saw a bunch of girls like where I live being fairies. I was like, well, I don't understand why. Like, because I have no idea what show that was, but the outfits are cute. I feel like a lot of girls have been upping their like DIYs like every year. Like they're coming up with like new things, like especially on Shein. I don't know how to say it.
Oh yeah.
Like you can buy so much cheap stuff and make like a cute costume. I saw someone become Hannah Montana this year. I was like,
oh really? I saw somebody be Cher when she had that like monologue where she's like, I am the rich man. You know what I'm talking about?
no.
Oh man, it's like the best quote ever. Because her mom was giving advice, like, you just need to like grow up and marry a rich man. And she's like, Mom, I am the rich man. And she's like in this awesome outfit. But this girl handmade and beaded an entire like piece that was a replica. And I'm like, I wish I had that artistic ability. I do not have that talent.
That is pretty cool.
It was
I'm gonna
so
look
awesome.
that up after because I'm very curious to see. Yeah, it's really like neat to see a lot of people take their costumes to like the next level and actually create themselves. I love we were talking about Halloween for like literally like 15 minutes.
People relate. They enjoy it. It's
Yeah,
okay.
everyone wants to hear. And And now, Megan, we're going to play a little game I like to call Country with Celine Rapid Fire. So I'm going to shoot you out a couple of questions and just answer them. And then it's just to get to know you like a little bit more, even more on a personal level. Okay?
Okay.
So the first one, what is a hobby of yours?
I like to work out. I don't know if that's really a hobby, but I love like running and yoga.
Okay, that's totally a hobby. Your dream vacation.
Turks and Caicos.
Anywhere where it's tropical. Netflix show that you're watching right now.
What is that called? I forget the name of the one, so I'm not going to do that one, but The Midnight Gospel. I was watching that last night. It's like a cartoon.
Oh, okay. I don't know that one. Your favorite food?
Tortellini. I love it. I can never get enough.
Are you Italian?
Yes.
Knight. Is that really your last name, Knight?
So it's like a long story. It's like my dad's adoptive father's last name. I don't even know how to pronounce like the other name.
Okay, because I was gonna say Knight doesn't seem so Italian, but the way that you're like talking and the way you were talking about Italian music, I'm like, okay, she must be Italian. She's from New Jersey too. It's like she has to be Italian.
Yeah.
A karaoke song that you love to sing.
Gosh, I actually hate karaoke. I hate it.
Okay, what's the song that you can sing in the car like any day, anytime, whenever?
Anything Lana Del Rey.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Lana Del Rey, she's a classic.
It makes me feel like you're always living in a music video.
That's very true. And the last one, your favorite sports team, if you have one.
The Phillies or the Flyers. Anything Philadelphia. Eagles.
Anything Philadelphia. But aren't you from like New Jersey? Wouldn't it be the Devils?
That's like a different part. Like we're closest to Philly. Like I'm only 20 minutes from Philly.
Okay. So you really are close to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand them. I understand the love for the Flyers. I have a Flyers hat because I went through a phase when I liked them when they were like doing really well in the playoffs.
Oh, really? Have you ever been to like an actual Flyers game before?
No, I think I have when they came to Toronto, but like years ago. So like I don't really remember that much. But if they ever come again, I would totally go. I love going to hockey games. It's
Oh my gosh, aren't you guys known for hockey? I'm surprised you like the Flyers of all of the teams. That's crazy.
I know. Hockey up here is like huge though. It's that's huge. Yeah.
I would love to go to Canada and just like see a bunch of hockey games because you guys are known for it. That's awesome.
I love that. I freaking love the team. Our team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, are not doing that good. And they just
you're just like, I like anyone better than you. Just kidding.
I'm like, I'm jumping to Nashville. I'm the Nashville Preds fan now. I'm like, peace out, Toronto. I recently just went to a game and it was the New York Rangers against the Leafs and I wore my Rangers jersey and my boyfriend wore his Leafs and I got in his car. He's like, absolutely not, go change. I'm like, absolutely not. I'm staying in here. We're going to the game. Like I don't vote for the Leafs anymore. They're not my team.
Oh, I'm glad you stood your ground, stood up for yourself. You should.
Us girls, we gotta stick up when our boyfriends are being a pain in the butt.
Exactly.
Megan, honestly, this was so fun chatting with you. Oh my god, yeah, this was a blast. I can't wait to talk to you more. I'm gonna get you on an Instagram live one time. We'll chat with like the audience. You can sing a couple of your songs and people can get to know you even more because this was a complete blast. I'm so happy I met you too.
I'm so happy I met you too. It was awesome. I had fun.